United States Treasury Department presents Guest Star with Duke Ellington and his famous orchestra. How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Willis Conover, your host for Guest Star, a transcribed savings bonds program brought to you by this station as a public service. With this program, your station recommends to you that you give thought to the future and make it secure through regular, systematic saving. Save regularly with savings bonds through the payroll savings plan where you work. Thousands of Americans will tell you it's the best way to save, that without payroll savings, they would never have saved at all. For the first time since Guest Star began over 3 years ago, our guest is not an individual, but an entire orchestra. Duke Ellington always writes his compositions with the men in his orchestra in mind. This makes for the most unusual and sympathetic interplay between composer and performer in musical history. And so it is that on today's program, Duke Ellington's music is played by the men for whom he wrote it, the men who play his music best. Duke Ellington and his famous orchestra, with Billy Strayhorn at the piano and Paul Gonsalves featured on tenor sax. The Ellington theme, Take the A Train. An American classic, one of Duke Ellington's own great songs, Solitude. it seems like old times to have you on a Bond show, even though this is your first appearance on Guest Star.
Well, as a matter of fact, Willis, it really is like old times. We did a great many Bond programs all through the war, so this is just like dropping right back into the old habit. And savings bonds are a habit with us, believe me.
You mean you and the men in the band are bond buyers?
We certainly are. After all, in the music business, it's an easy trip from the top to the bottom. And when the going gets a little rough, it's important to have a nice, comfortable cushion of savings bonds to fall back on. That's why we see to it that part of today's money is set aside to take care of tomorrow.
A good point, my friend. There's a tip from Duke Ellington, a good tip for all of us. For a secure tomorrow, for yourself and for those you love, there's no finer investment than United States savings bonds. You can buy them automatically through the part payment payroll savings plan where you work. Or if you are self-employed, you can take advantage of your bank's free service, the bond-a-month plan. Either way, you'll save with safe, sure savings bonds. Next, Duke Ellington's own popular singer, Albert Hibbler. Albert, what's the full name, Duke?
Albert George Edward Windsor Hibbler.
Him, of all people.
You, of all people, had to come along one day. You happen to look my way and see that I was in the mood for dancing and romancing as of old took its toll. You left me out in the cold. Pop the new love, and there was me trying to mend a broken heart. But now I'm glad to find a love and a happiness mine. 'Cause you, of all people, came crawling back to me, of all people, you, of all people.
Let's meet some of the men in the band individually. Through their horns, of course. We call this one Great Times. Oscar Pettiford on cello. Nelson Williams. Jimmy Hamilton. been listening to Guest Star, a transcribed savings bonds program presented by this station each week at this time as a public service. Today, our distinguished guest was the American composer, pianist, and conductor, Duke Ellington. To him and to every member of his famous orchestra, we say thanks for a job exceptionally well done. Next week, there'll be more good music and another great star, so be sure to join us. Same time, same station. Meanwhile, this is Willis Conover saying thanks for listening and reminding you there is no finer, safer investment in the world than a savings bond. Buy them regularly through the payroll savings plan where you work or the bond-a-month plan, a free service at your bank. Now, let's all buy bonds.